Alright, in this video I'm going to compare three products. I'm going to compare the Izolation, the Isolite system, and the Kona adapter. So this is the Isolation system. I'm just going to put it together real quick. So it's one of a few isolation products on the market. It's got a couple of parts. You have the actual mouthpiece itself. You can just pull that off. And then you have the central connector, I call it, and the bite block. Comes in two different size bite blocks, not much of a difference. I'm just going to put this back on again. Okay. And it comes with a hose that will just connect to this for the vacuum, and this just basically goes into your HVE valve. I just want to pull this off just to get it out of the way. It also comes in two kinds of mouthpieces. It's only one size. It's basically adult size. But one is very soft. This is a very soft one. It's much more comfortable. This is a stiffer version of the mouthpiece. You have to kind of bend it a little bit, and this just offers better retraction. All right. And let me see, like the way it suctions, you have your main vacuum line right through the mouthpiece. You know, this part right here is your tongue retractor. This part is your cheek retractor, right? And then you have multiple channels that go down from the main channel, and each little channel has a couple of holes, and on the bottom you have a hole in the bottom for suction. All right, that's how that works. And then I'm going to show you the Isolite. Just going to drag the whole hose over here. This is the medium DV mouthpiece. It's kind of equivalent to that mouthpiece, and it's the most popular size for adults. The mouthpiece for the Isolite, it's all the bite block, and the mouthpiece is all one unit, so this whole thing gets thrown away. This is the Isolite system. This is the version that has the light in it, so this lighting system will light up this mouthpiece, so it will light up in the mouth. It's got, they also offer a non-lighted version called the ISO Dry, so it's about half the price. The ISO Dry is about $800. It also has two valves, and that's to control the two separate chambers of the Isolite mouthpiece. All right. And the third one is the Kona adapter. This is not a whole system like the other two. It's just basically a product that allows you to connect the Isolite mouthpieces directly to your HVE valve. Alright, so now I'm just going to go over the pros and cons of these three products. Let's start with the Izolation. The good thing about it is, let me just assemble this again. The good thing about it is it's portable, because you just basically stick in the hose into your HVE valve, so this can be moved to any room very easily. The mouthpieces itself, because it's just this part that gets thrown out, are cheaper. The soft mouthpiece version is about $128 a piece. The stiff version comes out to about $152 a piece. Compared to the Isolite mouthpieces, those cost between $2 and $250 a piece. If you buy it just retail, it's $250. They offer deals where you can get it for $2 a piece. The negatives about this product, Isolation, is the suction is good on these, but not as good as the Isolite mouthpiece. I find that the stiff mouthpiece is not that comfortable. The main reason for that, I think, is that this part here is your tongue retractor. That part on this mouthpiece is actually longer than the Isolite mouthpiece. So what happens is this thing goes deeper into the mouth and presses up against the your mandible too much. I've tried it on myself, and the large mouthpiece, Isolite mouthpiece, will fit in my mouth. So, and this thing still presses against my against my mandible, and it kind of hurts a little bit. So I think it'd probably be better if they maybe had a mouthpiece somewhere in between the soft one, which seems to be a little too soft, and the stiff one. Or maybe if they just shortened this part so it wasn't going as deep into the mouth, it would be more comfortable. I'm not sure. When you switch this over to the other side of the mouth, with the Isolite you can just switch over. With this one, you have to reassemble it. So you got to pull this out, put it back on the other way, and then with the stiff one you have to kind of bend it a little bit. The reason why you have to do that is because the Isolation mouthpiece is only suctioning on one side, as opposed like the Isolite has got two separate channels. So with this, you're throwing this away and you're autoclaving this part. Alright, so the Isolite pros, I would say, is that the mouthpiece works much better. Let's see. Yeah, and they're definitely more comfortable than the other one, than the stiff version at least. And it just seems to be kind of the ideal stiffness between those two. It offers a lighted version of this if you prefer that, and so this whole mouthpiece lights up. Personally, I don't need the light. I have a nice headlight. Yeah, and for me that's enough. So I don't need the internal lighting. Some dentists do like that option, and they find a lot of benefit from it. But so if you like it, it's worth the money. Let's see. The cons is it is pretty pricey compared to the other products. The Isolite version it's about $1,700 right now retail. The ISO dry version is about $800. It's expensive, but I think the investment is worth it. Even if you're one of those that does like the lighted version of this, and you had to spend $1,700 for every room, I still think it's worth the money. There's another product that I will be doing a review on. It's called the Isolite Plus, which would be a direct competitor to this because it offers the lighting system also. So stay tuned for that. The Isolite really can't be, it's not portable like the other two. Because you're basically replacing this whole hose. I mean, you could do it, but it would be a pain to try to do it between patients. So essentially this is going to stay in the room. All right. And then you have the Kona adapter, which is not a whole system. It's just a connector. The pros are that this is very durable. It's made out of stainless steel, and it'll take a beating basically. And there's no moving parts. So, yeah, let's see. It's also very portable. It just goes right into your HVE valve. You can go from room to room very easily. It's very affordable, $79 a piece, and the suction on this is much stronger than on the Isolite, just because it's got a bigger chamber and you just got more air flowing through it. A lot of times people, and myself too, I just run it at about halfway because the suction is so good. The cons of the Kona adapter is this assembly, compared to the Isolite system, is definitely heavier. But from the patient's point of view, it's not really a serious factor at all. The Isolite is made out of titanium and plastic, and this is stainless steel, so it is heavier. And of course, it doesn't have the two separate valves, so you can't control both chambers of the mouthpiece. And that's it. The Kona adapter is my product, so obviously I'm biased. I personally think the best combination is this, with the Isolite mouthpiece, for the cost and the performance. And I just use my headlight for light. And but with that said, no matter what product you buy here, whether you go with the Izolation or the Isolite system or the ISO dry system, they're all good systems. So you can't go wrong with any of them. If you guys have any questions about any of these products, you can just send me an email and I'll be happy to answer your questions. Thanks. Yeah, I wanted to mention one more of the cons for the Kona adapter is, unfortunately, you cannot buy the mouthpieces unless you own at least one Isolite or Iso Dry. So if you have more than one room to equip, you can get one Iso Dry and then get Kona adapters for all the other rooms, and you're going to save a lot of money. So now I'm going to show you guys action video so you can kind of see all three products and see how they work live. All right. And the patient I have in the video is the same. It's the same person. I use the medium DV mouthpiece with the Isolite and the Kona adapter, and then with the isolation, I use both mouthpieces, which is about equivalent in size to the medium DV. So it's kind of a good comparison. And you'll kind of see. I think you'll kind of see the issue I was talking about with the isolation, about this part being too long. You can kind of see it kind of bend a little bit in the patient's mouth. In her case, she has an average sized mouth. I know she's missing some premolars, probably had ortho. So for her it's kind of exaggerated probably. But like I said, with me, I have a pretty big mouth, and I still have that issue with the with the stiff mouthpiece going in too deep. So you can check out the video. Thanks. That's the Isolite first. And bite down a little bit. Good. I'm just going to spray a little water so you can kind of take that out.
So that's the one that lit up.
Yeah, that's the one.
Oh, okay.
And I'll put in mine. So, same mouthpiece, just with a Kona adapter. Open it wide. And bite down a little bit. So that's the adapter it's about halfway. The suction's pretty strong. It can go really high, that's all the way. Okay. I'll put in the next one.
Huh?
I'll put in the next one. This is the stiffer mouthpiece. Alright, turn it on. With a smaller bite block. Okay, bite down a little bit. Bite down there. Okay. Got it? Is that good right there?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Bite down again? Okay. Okay. Take that out. That's the stiff one. This is the soft one. Alright. Okay. And bite down. Pull it out and shut it off.